By point of view, are you just saying existence with different words?
I'm saying that basically at some point something had to give us our point of view, and that even if we were being completely deceived from, if we were being completely deceived by a malevolent deity, that malevolent deity cannot tell us that we don't exist. That is why there's a God.
It sounds like you're saying that at some point you became a conscious entity, and whether it happened in a vat or whether it happened as a result of your parents, at some point there had to be some first...
I had to be willed into existence.
No. What makes you think people are willed into existence?
Because I don't know how they would get there otherwise.
Oh, so it's a big argument from ignorance. You're saying that because you can't think of anything other than people being willed into existence, therefore people were willed into existence.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is I have to, is that by the time we get off this call, we've got to know. Because if we die not knowing, then, I mean, I'm basically
guess what?
What I'm trying to say.
Guess what, Brooks? If we die without knowing, then we've died without knowing.
Okay, but at the same time, if we sit there and sit on our thumbs and say that we don't know and we never ever will know and that anything is possibly true, then we're not really getting anywhere either.
I agree.
Wait,
I absolutely agree. Go ahead, Jim.
I got to break in here. This is what I was talking about before. Just because you don't know something doesn't mean you're justified in making something up, okay? So, and that's all you're doing. You're saying, hey, I don't know how this happened, so I'm going to believe something that I think is comfortable for me. So
comfortable for you, right?
For you.
Comfortable for you. I don't have these supernatural beliefs. I'm comfortable not knowing things. And I'm not sitting on my hands, trying to figure out, what excuse I can make up for why I don't know things or something.
Right. But Jen, but I think you'll agree with me when you say that basically by being comfortable, it means that you've answered all the questions that need answering for you, right?
No, it means that, I'm an engineer, and I deal with uncertainty in everything I do. People think that engineers know stuff, and really we know stuff within certain error bounds, okay?
Yeah,
so,
we know the limit of our knowledge.
Okay, I can quantify my uncertainty. And once I do that, that becomes another piece of information that informs my decisions. Okay.
Right.
It's not something uncomfortable. And you know what? I believe that we live in a vast universe that has no purpose at all. And I'm comfortable with that.
Okay. Good.
But here's
it doesn't mean that I'm sitting on my hands not pursuing knowledge about things.
Here's the thing, actually, two quick things, Brooks. One, the knowledge that we have is the result of people who were dissatisfied with the answers that you accept. Okay? The other thing is that you are in a position where you're uncomfortable not knowing and you're desperately afraid of dying without knowing. What's the explanation for all of this? And so you have convinced yourself that you have some answer, that there must be a God. And in actuality, what you've accepted is a non-answer. The God explanation, I put that in scare quotes, is not an explanation. It has no explanatory power. It doesn't give us any better understanding. If you can take your explanation for how consciousness, how to explain consciousness, if you can take your explanation and sub in it's magic or I don't know and your status of knowledge has not changed, then the answer is useless. And I don't care whether you call it a God in the theist sense or Jehovah.
Okay.
You don't have an answer. You don't even, you have a non-answer. You have a pacifier that keeps you from actually looking for the answer.
Okay. Now, I'm going to speak to Jen.
Okay.
Because Jen's an engineer, and you talked about talking about what you can, quantifying what you don't know, right?
Right.
Well, in this sense, what I would do is I would take all the things that are beyond the limit. I would think of the greatest thing I can possibly imagine, and in my sense, those are the three attributes of omnipotence, omniscience, and omnipresence. The only reason that I choose those three is because I can't imagine anything that would be greater than that.
Okay.
Okay, and and basically being being somebody that tries to quantify what I don't know, I stick a label on that, and I call it God. And so whenever I want to, basically, I do that as a placeholder because I believe that's valuable to me.
So you have evidence that there is something out there that is omnipotent, omniscient, and what was the other
Omnipresent.
one?
Not only that, but controls all of our actions.
Really? So
Really?
you're just a puppet and
Controls
you have
all of
evidence
our
for
actions.
this?
Yeah. Do I have
Really?
proof of this?
No,
Yeah.
evidence. You don't have to prove it. Just provide evidence. A
Oh,
piece of-
okay.
a data point.
Do I have proof of this?
No, evidence.
Okay. All right. Basically, I take it as I throw my pencil against the wall.
Okay.
Okay, and I use that to prove that I have free will. Right now, I may be going off track, and I have a feeling that somebody's getting ready to shoot me down here. Is anybody getting ready to shoot me down?
Well, you just said that this thing controls all of your actions, so maybe it made you throw the pencil up against the wall
Yeah.
to trick yourself into thinking that you had free will.
Right, and I know I'm a horrible arguer here. I really suck, but I'm also saying that I'm needing to prove that I have free will by throwing a pencil against the wall, where in essence, basically, I needed to prove at that specific second that I had free will, and thus I wasn't really free to not throw the pencil against the wall at that moment.
You haven't proved a thing, but
Yeah.
anyway, get to the point.
So I haven't proved a thing. Okay, so anyway, basically what I'm trying to say is that because basically there is a need because I have to justify a perspective from a first cause, and because I am limited my knowledge, I basically am using the label of God as saying that there are all things that are possible out there, and that there must be a deity somewhere that has complete control over everything we do, and thus there is no evil.
Why?
Huh?
Why would you say that? Why must there be
Because
this?
if evil really existed, if there was anything that the thing that was omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent didn't want to happen, it would not happen.
Well, first of all, I don't know how we got to whether or not evil exists, but depending on what you mean by exists, I don't think it does. Good and evil are labels that we put on things based on their outcome, their effects.
Right, but you basically call yourself atheist, meaning that there is no God, and I'm trying to say
Well,
that
that's-
there is a God based off of the
Based off of what?
Yeah.
based off the fact that we have a limit to our knowledge and there's something beyond.
Sure, I agree. We have a limit to our knowledge. What makes you think that there's something that doesn't have a limit to its knowledge?
Something that doesn't have a limit to its knowledge.
Omniscient. You believe in something that's all-knowing. You say,
Yeah.
I have a limit to my knowledge, and therefore there must be something that doesn't have a limit to its knowledge. And I say, what's the justification for this besides I really hope it's true?
Besides that, I really hope that it's true.
You have no reason to think that something is omniscient.
I have no reason to think there's something that is omniscient, because it's the same reason that it's the same reason why I put an infinity symbol on numbers. I don't know what the highest number is, but at the same time, I put a
There
symbol there so I
isn't
can
a
talk about it.
highest number.
Yeah.
But we do use a symbol for it. We use the concept
No,
of infinity.
the
to talk
symbol
about it.
isn't
Therefore,
for-
I'm using the concept of God
The
to talk
symbol-
about these things.
The symbol is not for the highest number. The symbol is for there is no highest number.
The symbol is for the concept of infinity.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the same way that I'm using the concept of God to talk about all these things.
There is no
Yeah.
actual infinity.
Just like there is no actual God.
Amen.
Exactly.
Thank you, Brooks.
All right.
The fact that you have a concept of something doesn't mean it exists. The fact that A is better than B is better than C doesn't mean that there's something better than A. The fact that your knowledge has a limit doesn't mean that there's something out there that has unlimited knowledge. Now, if you could draw an actual logical argument that demonstrates this, I'd be happy to. But whenever asked, you just say, I have limits on my knowledge, and therefore there must be something that doesn't. That's your argument.